Hey Mary Jo, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you Barb for joining me. Just a reminder, I had to do a new host code yesterday. So this is the new host code. If you place any orders at fromthestampstudio.com, please use that host code. And the other thing to note is please share this video if you can. That really always helps. I love you guys when you do that. Comment on it if you can, as well as, you know, like it, dislike it, I don't know, something. But evidently that all helps. And then kind of to reiterate, tomorrow is Stamp Day, where I have 3 projects, not all cards this time. It's up in Elkhorn. If you'd like to come, please just give me a holler, message me, contact me, you can find me. Please feel free to come and I can give you all the details on that. And if you can't come tomorrow, the following week up in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, we do Paper Pumpkin Day, always on the fourth Wednesday of the month, and you know, just get together and kind of do those paper pumpkins, which should be arriving shortly. And the new paper pumpkin was announced yesterday. Anyway, it was recently announced in the last couple of days on the 11th, and it features The Adventures Await, and it looks really good, but of course I didn't print it out. So there we go. Also the reminder about the Dandy Garden special, having to do with if you purchase different things in the Dandy Garden. It's all up on Facebook. It's up on the website. You can get all the information on that. And the important one today has to do with Snailed It, which is for any order. If you spend $25 on an order using the host code, I give you 4 cards. I give you the instructions for 4 cards, a PDF for them. If you spend $60, I will give you a kit to make those 4 cards. The kit does not include the stamp set, the dies, the paper, or anything like that. It includes the paper. It doesn't include stamp sets, ink, that kind of stuff, glue. You do need that. So, and the Snailed It is sadly retiring. Kind of really sad about that, because if you know me, it was my favorite stamp set in the mini catalog, and the mini catalog is ending at the end of June, and with it, Snailed It is going away. And I think it is one of the cutest things. But I also thought, and I didn't use this today. This makes an adorable little envelope. This cuts out a stamp. It's such a cute, and mushrooms galore. So cute. It coordinates with the paper, which is already sold out. I don't know if I should even tempt you with the paper. It was so cute. But a lot of the dies work with the paper if you have the paper. You know, I love the hearts, but if you don't have the paper, I've got an actual suggestion for the little bit of paper we're using today, and it also coordinates with the resin hearts, which are half price and the cutest things ever, these little hearts. And this one I colored with a blend, so you can see how that works. You have those things, so they are so cute, and they would go on anything. But what I decided to do today was mix up Snailed It with some of the products from the new catalog and some of the new colors, because I think by doing that we tend to give new life to a stamp set. You know, it just mixes it up. So here, ta-da, here's the card, and we will walk you through it, and I'll point out what's new, what came from Snailed It, and that kind of thing, and even some other ideas. As I said, I have a new idea because right before I went on the air here, Mr. UPS Man showed up. Mr. UPS Man, it doesn't work, and brought me a new idea for that. So that's the card we're working on. We're going to start, and you can see we're using a lot of the new in colors, the 2021-2023 in colors. This base card is Evening Evergreen, and remember, I like to fold mine in half. Just use my nail work your way back, get a nice crease there, and take a bone folder. And that gets you a real nice even thing. Then I use new in the catalog and maybe hidden away. I don't know if you, hey Bernie, I'm so glad you made it. Swipe left. I have to learn my left from my right. This die is hidden in the back because it doesn't have a coordinating stamp set. It goes with a ton of things. It's called the Flower Market die. It cuts one big sheet. But even these flowers, they cut out and they can be used separately. So I'll show you some of that. And what I did was cut it out in Soft Succulent, another one of the new in colors. So I'm using a lot of the new in colors, which I think is part of what's giving this kind of a new, fresher feel. And just so you know, I didn't leave any in it, but you know, detailed dies like this, we have our quick pick tool and the brush that kind of goes with it, and it's really easy. There's one popping out that I evidently missed. So that helps a ton when you die cut something with intricate deal like this. This can brush it. I just put it in a little tray. You could use an old paper pumpkin box. The other thing on the other side of the quick pick tool, this is an addition, comes with two of these and this to go onto the quick pick tool, or just grab a second quick pick tool. But this part of it, the all part, is great for poking out things too. But this has a bit much to sit there and individually poke. I mean, 90% of the time I probably individually poke. So, did that, give you an idea. You can see my little collection there. We're just going to glue that on. And the other thing I did was, and please let me know if I go out of screen, but I tried to be a little, I'm hoping I'm better this week. You could use our the adhesive paper for this and put that on first. I'm just using some glue around. It's got enough big areas that, you know, there seems to be plenty of spots to throw some glue down. I don't know, and I don't think it needs to be 100% glued, but here we go. And I love these two colors together, and you guys know I have a special place in my heart for these colors because they remind me of my car, Sir Lance. So we love Sir Lance, and those colors remind me of Sir Lance. So we did that, and then I used, this is another new die set. Again, no stamps for it, but they're beautiful. They're called the Iconic Dies. They have flowers and ferns and branches and birds and bees, but I used these two mushrooms. And go over my little thing here, and we can pull out, I pre-cut the mushrooms. I pre-cut most of the mushrooms. Those two mushrooms I used, and I used and forgot to cut another one. This one here comes from the Snailed It set. So that mushroom came from here. And really, I didn't cut another one? I could have sworn I had. Okay, people. That's okay. Easily fixed. Some red paper. Let's cut another one. Sorry to keep you waiting, but my cut and emboss machine is right here, so we can do that. But I want to show you how I got the yellow on the background. That was pretty easy. Pretty easy thing to do. So here we go. I could have sworn I cut two. Sorry. So just grab a scrap of yellow paper, and I took what I cut, or you could take the die and a pencil, and all I did was go around it like this. And you don't have to be too careful. You want to cut, and let me move up, sorry. You don't have to be too careful, and you want to cut, give it a chunk. You know how we normally cut, and when we have a stamped image, we try and cut out here a little bit and leave a little extra space. This one you want to cut on the inside. So pretty quick cutting. I try and go a chunk in. If I don't get it perfect, it's not a big deal. Once I glue it down, I can trim the edges. But here we go. But I love this. Have you guys gotten the snailed it? I mean, he's so cute. I don't know why they're getting rid of him. I'm not happy. But see how quick that was? Super, super easy. Super, 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 super. And we just glue it on there and it'll fit just right. So grab my glue. Plenty of room to just throw on some glue here. Don't get too sloppy with it. Like that. But I can always blot it up. That's what fingers are for. And we can put this down. Come on down here a little bit. And now I need another piece of yellow. Here, yellow. This one will work. Because I didn't cut a scrap for this guy, so sorry to keep you for another thing. So are you all outside? Are you enjoying this gorgeous day? Try and get the comments up. You know, this day is so mega gorgeous. Yesterday was so mega gorgeous. I know we need rain, but at least the heat broke. I'm so happy. So again, just kind of come in here a little bit. This doesn't take long. Okay, hopefully we're not having blood on Facebook. As I stab myself. Good job. So cut more carefully. You don't have to rush the way I do. You really don't. There we go. Let's put this down. A little, I think this card is so cute. So this guy, I adhered flat. Right here in the corner. Over here. This guy, I used dimensionals. And I think we're at the edge of our dimensionals, so we're cutting them a little bit. That's okay. Little dimensional here. Cutting that one in too. A little bit for this round. Yeah, don't waste these around the edge that aren't cut out dimensionals. You can still use them. Just give them a little snip. And you get him. He's totally stuck to my finger. He's going to go here. And this one, I actually used Melon Mambo, but I think that works just fine. Not Melon Mambo. I used Mango Melody by accident when I just grabbed some. But I think he works okay. What do you guys think? So I really, really wanted to use the snail before it retired one more time. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope maybe you'll be interested in, you know, doing something so you can get the cards. The cards in the PDF and the kit, they're much simpler. Now what I did here, I don't know if you can see, I took one of the leaves that I cut out of here and I plunked him down right there. And so that leaf was right here. And take just a little bit. I think we're just going to use a little glue on this. Oh, I just put a little leaf down here. Okay, now let's set that aside for 1 sec, hopefully not glued down, and let's stamp our little snail he takes a little bit of a second because we're going to color them, and hopefully I can give you some ideas for coloring. And we're coloring them with our Stampin' Blends, so that means we use Memento, not Stays On. You want to use the Memento when you use Stampin' Blends because they're alcohol based. You can use a regular colored ink if you want. You know, that's an older pad, but you know, a classic Stampin' pad, those will work too. It's not too bad. Now, what's really amazing about this stamp set is, though it stamps up with "You've Got Mail," it does not die cut with it, but I think let's color first. So I pulled out Polished Pink, which again are new in colors that I love so much, and I pulled out the Soft Succulent for his shell, the two shades, the dark and light Soft Succulent. And the other thing I pulled for a little highlight in his shell and also for the envelope is the light soft seafoam color. So that's one of our subtles, and I just colored that in right here. You guys see that okay? Yeah. And then I added some to give it a little bit of highlight up here because I'm envisioning those being rounded, convex, kind of curved out. So I think they get a little light. Let's put a little light there too. And then if they're convex, I took the dark and figured down in this part, as well as close to his body, because his body is going to stick out in front, as well as this envelope is sticking in front, and down at the bottom. And my son's coming that way, so that part's going to be pretty light. This part's not going to be quite as light. So we want our shadows there, and then we can just take the light Soft Succulent, try and avoid that area where I put the seafoam, and go in and color the rest of it pretty easily. Just kind of go through, and if you notice, I go in little circles. Boom crash. The little circles help blend it out in my mind, and this is where blends are so amazing, is because the alcohol causes them to blend into each other, so they don't look streaky. There we go. See, a little bit more here. And yep, I know that looks a little funny there. So I'm going to go back with my soft seafoam and just go over this area here. And it will blend it out and give it that impression. And actually, I wouldn't mind a little bit more of the dark succulent right here and a little bit here, just because it blended out enough that you couldn't really tell that they were, gave it a little more depth. And then I'm going to take the Polished Pink and give it a little definition here where he's going to curve, and here where he curves under. What's the she? We could make this one a she. I can show you how to do that. Don't let me forget. Remind me, I will make it a she. I have ways. And then I added a couple more little spots. Extended her little spots out. And then I took the light Polished Pink and we just color it through. This card today has a little bit of coloring, not an awful lot of coloring, but a little bit of coloring, so it's going to take a little bit longer. And I like, this is our color lifter, because I'd really like just a little bit of a highlight right there. And you'll notice, just watch that. It should lift out that, and see how it's starting to make it a little lighter just right there, just a little touch. Now I can take the die, and what's great about this die is I can use it to just cut out our little girl here, and we don't need the other part. So give me 1 second and I will do that. Okay, so easy enough. This is just some post-it tape that I use to help hold it down. You can use a post-it note, anything that's not too tacky and going to rip the paper. So let's use dimensionals, which are right here. There's a couple of them. Stick them on her. Oh. Okay, probably should have shown you my tricks to make it a her before that. Oh, I think with it cut out, it's not going to work. If it wasn't cut out, I could have drawn some little, I was going to use this anyway. I was using a Micron 01 and I was going to draw some eyelashes. But when I cut her out, it doesn't really work as well. I'd have to be leaving her on the paper. But what I wanted to do, why I had the Micron's really close to the Memento ink. And so all I do with the Micron, I wanted to emphasize her little mouth a little bit with it. It's a fine enough point. And then this is my other trick, going a little rogue, non-Stampin' Up rogue. There it is, hiding here. Non-Stampin' Up, but if Stampin' Up is watching, we would really, really like one of these to be part of our catalog. They're Glaze pens by Sakura, and they make kind of a raised dome, and black is really the one I use all the time. And to start it, I usually, the fingers are well loved. You usually want to start it a little bit. Take a little scratch paper here to get it going, but the heat from your finger gets it going really well. And I color her little eyes, and they get a little darker, they pop a little, and a little bit shiny, and I think she becomes super cute. So we've got that on there. Moving that aside, let's take one of the resin hearts and go the same direction and stick it on here. Okay, so the hearts will come back in a moment. So then what I did, and you tell me, I did this Hello Friend, and it comes from, let me grab the stamp set so you can see it. I love this new stamp set because I love the mix of the big, bold sans serif print. See, there's no little doodads hanging off of it. That means it's sans serif. I love the mixture of that with the fun kind of brush scripty kind of thing, and mixing the two. And I actually found I mixed them, I did them in 2 different ways. I stamped them in, and I was curious which you like better. I was having a hard time deciding. Did I like my hello in the script or my friend? And I stamped them, actually I can just use that one. I stamped the Evening Evergreen for the dark, and I used Daffodil Delight. So picking up the colors from here. And what I did to get the edge was I took, this is our everyday label. I know that glitter is kind of weird, but that's our everyday label. And I didn't use the whole label. I didn't put it in like this because then both sides would cut. So instead, I put it in like this, and just so you know, it's 1 3/8 wide to get it to fit in there. And so I just put it in so it would cut part of it and stamped it like that. or punched it like that, and you get that little punch. And yeah, do you guys, do you have a preference? What do you think? We okay just going with this guy? We'll go with this guy. And as I said, right before I came on, I went and looked up this beautiful DSP that I love so much with the hearts that I used here, and realized you can't get it anymore. And I'm really sorry, I'm really bummed. I love the DSP. There is some other heart paper if you're a hostess. Let me show you real quick in the catalog. There is special hostess paper. You have to be a hostess, and you can get it in here, and there are some colorful hearts in here that I think would work too. This is a huge pack of paper. It's a $30 value, and a hostess can get it with using their hostess points for $18. And it's 48 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. It's very, very cool. But Mr. UPS man brought for me right before I went on the air, and I was all excited because this just was, even though this came out in the new catalog, it hasn't been available, and it just became available like last week or something, whenever I placed my order that came today. And so I added it in there. It's the Dottie Hearts embossing folders. There's 2 embossing folders, and they're the small ones, so it can go through the mini die cutter or the regular die cutter. No problem there. And I ran it through, and I'm thinking using the polished pink, I think that will be super, super cute. Right like that. And what I'm going to do is put this where I want it, and then trim the back. Here's some glue. What do you guys think? So kind of a little alternative there. And I made it wide enough so it's a little wider than the hearts here. I made this one, let's see, I wrote down, instead of 1.5 inches wide, I made it 1 3/4, because I wanted to be able to see this little row of heart kind of above and below it. See, there's that little row of hearts, and I thought that would be fun. So then we can just put that on there like this and cut them off so they match. There you go. There we go. Make it like that. Put it on here flush. I think that'll work just like that. Get the that's the back of a dimensional. Okay, we're going to ignore that and get that out later, or it's just going to get hidden underneath. You know, the backing that you peel off a dimensional kind of ended up there. So stick this down here. Now, when I was playing with trying to come up with this card design, I actually cut a polished pink. I was originally going to do a polished pink background from this Flower Market die, and what it allowed me to have were some extras of these. And in this one, I evidently put this on upside down. I had different spots that I could put it. Notice it didn't come because I used it upside down. But I still think we can use some of this polished pink back here to add just a little bit of polished pink to it. And just a little dab of glue. And yeah, we'll find some of these little spots right here. So it's not exactly the same because I don't have the same flowers available. But these are here, so they work fine. Oh, here. We can do this one underneath there. It just adds a little color, I think, and pulls it all together. And then this one, let's see if I can find another little star over here. Another little pink star. This would actually, the Quick Pick tool has that putty end, and that would probably be easier to put these little thingies on, but it works. There we go. It works. So I did 2 layers there. I did the big one and a little one. And then your call. We could put some more of the hearts on like I did here. But like we don't have the eye anymore there, you know, yeah. But I could put one there, but instead, what I thought was really cool about this die is when it cut out the hearts, the flowers, it actually embossed them. So they're totally usable. But I think I would like a green one. I think that would be really cool there. So just a little bit of a change, kind of going with that. We changed a couple things in our design, and then of course that kind of caused other things to have to change. And in the center, how does this look? Do you like that? Nope. All my little extra doodads cut from that one. I think could be really pretty, and even more so, what I'm going to do for that one is turn up the petals a little and stick it in the center. And maybe, I don't know, what do you guys think? We could put a little heart right there, a little white heart. What do you think? Am I crazy doing that? Do you like that? Hey Mary, glad to see you. Siri just thought when I said hey that I was talking to him. But we're not. So there we go. So here's the 2 cards. The inside, I'm not going to do for you, but it's pretty simple. I used the, this is the scallop contour set. I used this largest die here, made a soft succulent base. I cut a piece of white. It was 4 5/8 by 3 5/16. Like that measurement, just to be able to fit in there so nicely. Stamped it with a stamp, you know, the stamp from the Snailed It set, and then colored it in to kind of match. And there we have it. Here's the 2 cards. What do you guys think? Which one, you know, do you have a preference? Which one do you like? I am so glad you came and you took some time out of this gorgeous day to spend a little time with me. I really appreciate it. Please share the video if you can, like it, love it, whatever. I so appreciate that, trying to build our audience. I hope so. And remember, if I uncover it, here we go with our June host code if you do any ordering. And thank you so much. I hope you guys all have a great week, and I will see you here next Tuesday. Have a great one. Bye-bye.